So going over the train tracks. Pretty good, pretty good. And we'll get our acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over a 2022 Chevy Silverado Trail Boss with the 6.2 V8. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with the Trail Boss. Check out their inventory in the description down below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood we have a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 13 around town and then 17 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Trail Boss. So first off, we have the 6.2L badge here on the center of the hood. And then I love the coloration on this particular one because the contrast between the silver and the black looks absolutely fantastic. We have the LED reflector lights here with the accent light, and notice how they have the carbon fiber background with that. That is pretty cool. And then we've got the accent piece here off to the side. We've got our Z71 badge right here, blacked out Chevy bow tie. We have the red tow hooks here on the front end as well, and then you can see overall the front end of this truck looks really good. Coming around the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see the wheels are all blacked out as part of the Trail Boss package, and see just how aggressive these tires are. Now the Trail Boss does give the truck a 2-inch lift on the front end from the factory, so you can see the suspension gap here is quite large. We've got the Z71 badge right there. Notice we've got the blacked out mirror as well, and then notice the door handles are also blacked out, and then the trim around the windows, so it all kind of matches. And then there is your full side view of the Trail Boss. And then quickly popping here to the rear, notice the mud flaps with the truck. We've got the leaf springs, and then you can kind of see the Rancho shocks that also come with the truck, and that's all for that. So here's our key fob for the Trail Boss. We have our lock, unlock, remote start, and then the drop down for the tailgate. We press that twice and it'll pop it down. We have a payload capacity of 1,605 pounds and then a towing capacity of about 9,100 pounds with the truck. You can see quite a bit of the payload is being used up by the white fluffy goodness that we've been having quite a bit of here in Utah. And then you can see we've got the LED bed lights here. There is an outlet under that little bit of snow, and this is why gloves are so handy, by the way. Notice that the bed is fully protected. We've got the liner on it, and yeah, that's everything for that. Now this one I don't think has the pop-up tailgate, but we'll see. Oh, it does. Wow. So not only does it lower itself, it raises itself. Now let's go over everything here in the rear of the Trail Boss. We have the Trail Boss sticker there on the side, and then you guys can see the taillights here on the back, and we've got our Silverado badge, LT badge there on the other side, and then you guys can see the coloration here on the bumper on the lower portion, and then the exhaust tips here out the back. We do have parking sensors integrated into the bumper as well, and yeah, overall, there's the back of the Trail Boss. Now here's a door panel at the rear of the Trail Boss. Notice we have the soft touch here at the stitching, and then just down below we've got the wood trim. And then here are the seats in the Trail Boss. So you guys can see the leather seats with the stitching. It's kind of hard to see because the lighting here is a little bit of a better look. We have the behind the seat storage, which you got to kind of muscle a little bit in the cold. And then notice the padding and everything just down below. We've got all of our rubber floor mats. Got the charging ports here in this area. We've got the cup holders, and then this pulls down to be an armrest, and then some more cup holders, which is definitely nice. And then we've got some under seat storage on top of all of that. And yeah, that's everything for the rear. So see ya. Here's a door panel at the front, so you can see again we've got all of the padding and everything all over. You can see the mirror there for the Trail Boss, and then we've got our door lock and unlock with the tubular door handle. We've got the wood trim just down below. All of our window controls. We do have the mirror adjustments as well. We've got the Bose sound system, which I'm actually a huge fan of. And then here are the seats at the front. Again, you've got the leather with the stitching here on either side of the seats. You can see the padding down below. Power adjustments, Z71 badge on the floor mats. We have our pedals right here with the parking brake. We've got the light control up here with the fog light, cargo light. Our drive line select is in this area, and then our drive mode select with the tow mode is in that area. And there's where we're looking before we pop in. So here's the steering wheel with the Trail Boss. We got leather all around the steering wheel with the darker stitching here on the center portion. We got our voice command, phone controls for the center stack, cruise control on the other side with the heated steering wheel button. We have radio controls there on the back of the steering wheel. We have our turn signal, windshield wiper stock, and we have the column shifter with the plus and minus for the gear selection with the transmission. And yeah, that is everything for the steering wheel. Here's the center gauge cluster area. We've got analog gauges for most of the stuff. You do have the screen there in the center, which you can scroll through to see different bits of information on the truck, the music, navigation, all that fun stuff. And then we do have, again, the trailer tow mode, and then we have some different drive modes. We've got the normal and then the off-road mode that you can go into. And then this is where you're also going to see the driveline select. So you can see it's in two-wheel drive right now. Again, you've got auto, four-wheel high, and then four-wheel low to choose between, and there's that. So here's the center infotainment system. First off, if we pop it into reverse, we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And then we do have the zoom function right there. And then you can make it so it's just a trailer line as well. Resolution on the camera is really good. Moving on from the camera here, if we press the home button, we've got the infotainment system. It's got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Really good response time if you actually press the screen. I got butterfingers, okay guys? I'm not the best at this, but anyways, yeah, great infotainment system. You guys know I love it. And then also here's the analog controls just down below it. So we have our dual zone climate controls here for the front. We've got this for the parking sensors, this to raise or lower the tailgate, hazard lights, stability control for the outlets, hill descent control, and then all of our charging ports all over, and then the trailer brake control. And then we've got the extra storage space here, some cup holders right there, and then we have the full center console area with the USBs and the auxiliary. And then we've got the dual glove box. Very nice. Notice we've got the padding and the stitching all over. That's definitely solid. And then this does have a sunroof, which, again, these butterfingers, man, I can't grab onto anything today. But yeah, that's there. This does have the manual mirror dimmer. And then also we do have a power sliding rear window. And yeah, that's all for the top. Now here's the window sticker for this Trail Boss. There's quite a bit of glare, so it's going to be kind of hard for you guys to read everything. But this thing is relatively loaded up from an option perspective. Total MSRP on this one is $61,145. And wait for it. It's a pretty big truck. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear, and well, let's set off. So we are setting off here in the 2022 Chevy Trail Boss with the 6.2 V8. And first off, let's talk about the road noise and ride quality. So from a ride quality perspective, it's extremely comfortable. It actually feels just like a luxury truck, pretty much from a ride quality perspective. And as for the noise insulation, it's actually really good as well. It's a little bit of a windy day, and you wouldn't really be able to tell here from the cabin. Everything's very well insulated. So they did a good job with all of that, making this just a good daily driver truck. Now, in terms of the seat comfort with this truck, now these bolsters are kind of more on the open side, so they don't necessarily hold you in place or anything like that. That being said, though, there's a good amount of padding and everything, and overall the seats are comfortable. I would like to have seen like a heated or cool, cooled function would be great, but at least a heated function with these seats, especially in the winter time here. But I mean, you know what? It's okay. Those are easy to add after the fact. What is this person doing? Okay. So going over the train tracks. Pretty good, pretty good. And we'll get our acceleration here. So much torque. Oh, I love the 6.2 V8. So I actually have a Sierra AT4 demo this week, and it's got the Duramax diesel. That Duramax diesel has the same amount of torque as this 6.2 V8. But let me tell you, this just feels so much punchier compared to that Duramax. That Duramax has some nice punch off the line, but once you get up and moving, this thing still, like, it just pulls. Whereas that diesel just kind of, pitter-patters off a little bit. So yeah, love the 6.2. I'm glad that they, added this to the Trail Boss a little bit ago, because I think that was definitely the route to go. But yeah, let's get into setting things up here with this Trail Boss with a 6.2 V8 and equipped how this particular truck is equipped. So first off, exterior wise, I am a huge fan of the Trail Boss. I think it's just a good looking truck. It's my favorite Silverado from an exterior aesthetics perspective. With the 2-inch lift in the front end and the Rancho shocks and everything, it just has this aggressive stance and everything's blacked on the front end. It looks really good. It stands out, and whenever I see one, I always notice it. Whereas other Silverados, not necessarily. Interior wise, I think it's a nice interior. Like I said, my only gripe is that it doesn't have like heated seats. I think that it should at least have heated seats. I understand it can't have air conditioned seats because it doesn't have perforated leather, but at least heated seats would be nice. So yeah, I mean, $60,000 truck, it's kind of expected in my opinion. Moving on from that, the seat comfort's great, ride quality's great, 6.2 V8 sounds amazing, it's got good power as well. So overall, it's a solid truck, and it's got great off-road capability. And I guess I will advertise for myself right now. I will be taking that GMC Sierra AT4 off-road this weekend or early next week. So if you're not subscribed, I recommend subscribing, because that is the same truck as this Trail Boss, and so we'll be able to see if the Trail Boss / AT4 package is actually good off-road. There'll be snow out there too, probably. So I'd subscribe for that if I were you. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna sum things up. As for a score, off-road truck, so this competes with the Ford Tremor, Ram Rebel, GMC Sierra AT4. $60,000. The engine's really strong. It's missing a couple interior features that I would like. It'd be easy to add heated seats though, I will say that. It has a sunroof, which is definitely nice, but not a panoramic like what you can get with some of the competition. So yeah, overall, I think that this truck deserves an 8.5 out of 10, because the engine really pulls things ahead for this truck. The ride quality is great as well, but yeah, it's just missing this particular package is just missing a couple things. But obviously, if you add those things, then the price is going to go up quite a bit. So the $60,000, I think it's a really good deal for everything you're getting. From a capability standpoint, you're just not necessarily getting what you'd expect from an interior standpoint. Hopefully that makes sense. Now that's going to sum things up for our video on this 2022 Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Schmiller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with this Trail Boss. Check out their inventory and link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.